they want to stay home. That's where they're comfortable. That's where most of them want to be. The fear is it safe for mom to be home? Do they have dementia? Are they a fall risk? Or do they have medical needs? And so it can be really hard to be able to keep someone at home if those are factors and you don't have a family situation where you can have that person have someone come live with them. I've also seen heartbreaking situations where someone quits their job to go and care for their loved one. They're burnt out, they're tired, the exhaustion of caregiving is real, especially if you don't have somebody coming in to offer respite care where you can just have a day that you know is your day so that you can go to your own doctor's appointments and you can go to your own thing. And I've seen stories, a couple of them, that just broke my heart, where someone went to go caregive for their parents, and their parents, they lived with their parents, they took care of their parents, and they're just exhausted, pouring all that they have into making sure their parents can be fed and get on and off the toilet and can be bathed and all this stuff. And they pour all of what they have into their parents and then do nothing for themselves. And then that parent dies. The bank takes the house. They didn't have probate set up. The individual can't afford a probate lawyer. The funds get tied up. Because the funds are tied up, nobody's able to pay the mortgage. The house gets foreclosed on. This happens in our country all the time, and it's crazy. And if that person who came in to caregive for those loved ones didn't have anything else going on or didn't have any support network of their own, there's been stories I've seen where those people then become homeless because they stopped their life, they stopped their livelihood to take care of someone else, and then they became homeless. And that is the most heartbreaking thing that I have seen. And there's a better way, there's a different way, and respite care and how we developed in-home care for you. We have a great platform for family caregivers to become franchisees. You've already been doing the work for your own loved one. You can have somebody come in, you can still do the majority of the work, but then you can have somebody come in and help your family members a couple of days a week. The awesome thing about that is you can then use the revenue that you're making from your care agency to offset the cost of giving you a couple of days off from your own parents or your grandparents, whoever you're taking care of. Sometimes it's your sibling, to just have a couple days to yourself where you can do something else and have somebody else come in and take care of them. So I think this is going to be a growing problem that we see in, I know this is a growing problem that we're going to continue to see, because in-home care is what Gerber was during the baby boom. You watch the baby boomers generation go through all these different stages. So you have it with the baby boomers and Gerber. And then they get a little bit older and boom, it's Mattel. You've got Barbie and Hot Wheels just exploding the industry because now they're kids and they want toys. And then they all become teenagers. And what happens? The car industry explodes. Then the housing industry explodes. So you see this trend, and where the baby boomers are now is they are, I think by 2030 something, I don't have my numbers in front of me right now, everyone over the age of 65 will, or all the baby boomers will be over the age of 65. I'll get that number out for you guys so that we can be clear on that. But very soon, all of the baby boomers will be over the age of 65. Now, not every single person turning 65 needs in-home care, but over the next 10, 20, 30 years, we're going to see this industry continue to expand as that need continues to grow. And so understanding that and getting in now before those baby boomers are at that stage where they need the care. Some of them are already there, but a lot of them aren't, and they won't be there for another 10 to 20 years. This industry is continuing to grow and expand, and we need better companies that understand. And with that, you're losing people in the workforce. You go anywhere and you're saying now hiring. And these kids that are coming into the work industry A lot of them, they want to be on YouTube, they want to go speak, they want to be coaches. They don't want to work at gas stations. They don't want to work in a lot of different industries, and you've got these now hiring signs everywhere. So how can you create a culture where you're valuing your employees? Because if you don't value your employees, somebody else down the road is happy to. So building a culture where you can value that caregiver. How can we make their job easier? How can we make them more seen? How can we make them more heard? How can we take care of our caregivers and give them the time off and not pressure them? We don't want managers who are like, you have to go and help this person on a Sunday. Well, Sunday is my day that I go to church. Somebody's going to have to work on a Sunday. How do we incentivize that? How do we hire for people who want to work on the weekends and give the weekend shifts to people who want to work on the weekends and give the weekday shifts to people who want to work on the weekdays? Hire strategically. Ask those questions in an interview. When do you want to work? Would you rather work in the morning or would you rather work in the afternoon? Keep notes on that stuff so that you can put those people in the right places. Those are the types of things that we train our owners and our managers to look out for and to do and to watch, because if you don't have happy employees, you're going to have so much turnover. You're going to have stressed out staff. You're going to have stressed out clients. Your clients don't want to see a new face in their home every week. They just don't. So if you can create an environment where you can have more consistent care for your clients, that starts with happy employees. It really does. So when we create our systems, we always have that in mind. How can we acknowledge our employees? How can we support our employees? How can we build relationships with our employees? And how can we incentivize and pay our employees? So when people come shop for us, we're not the cheapest in-home care agency out there, but we do really aim to be the most reliable one. We want to be the caregiving agency that you can count on. We want to be the caregiving agency that's raising the bar. We want to be the caregiving agency that actually cares for you, that doesn't have caregivers who are burnout. Because if our caregiver needs a day off, I don't care if it's for a dentist office or a birthday party, we do everything we can to make sure we have that day off available to them. We do that by having dedicated substitutes that can come in. They don't have regular jobs. They don't have regular working. This is your shift. This is your client. This is where you're going. They are substitutes. They're working for all the other people who need days off or want days off. And that balance is so key to what we do, because it gives our caregivers a work-life balance that they desperately need, because this industry is hard. It takes heart to work with individuals who need your help like this. And we don't want our caregivers burnout or resentful. We want them to be replenished and refreshed, and we want them to be able to pour from a full cup. Because when you pour from a full cup, everything works better.